Hello, my name is Aubrey. Welcome to a Belladonna reading vlog. This is my first ever reading vlog, and I fear that there are going to be some growing pains, so please be patient and understanding with me as I figure this out. Before I get into the video, I just want to give you guys like a little bit of a life update, which if you do not care about my personal life, I can leave you like a timestamp to skip ahead to. But basically, my husband and I are still displaced after Hurricane Helene. We still have no running water at our house. We thankfully got power and cell service back a little while ago, but we are still without water. Most of the city is still without clean water. And so we are currently hunkering down at my parents' farm. We are very thankful and happy to be here and have a place to escape to. I know so many people are having to shell out money for hotel rooms and Airbnbs right now, or they just have nowhere to go. We're safe, we're okay, but things are weird. Things are super weird right now. Our basement flooded during Hurricane Helene, and so we have been having to go back and forth from the farm to our house to meet with people from FEMA, to meet with insurance, to meet with people who want to inspect mold. I mean, you know, we're just doing our best. I'm doing my best. And so with the disruption of this hurricane, I have not been able to do like any of the fall themed videos that I really wanted to do. I had so many vlogs that I wanted to do. I really wanted to do like a fall recommendations video, which I feel like it's way too late for that now. But I am trying to just sort of roll with the punches. And one of the vlogs that I 100% wanted to do this season was a vlog for the Belladonna trilogy. So I have Belladonna, Foxglove, and Wisteria. And I'm really excited to read these. These just feel like the perfect atmospheric, gothic, like fall type reads. And so this is the vlog. Like I said, this is my very first vlog. I don't really know what I'm doing. I bought two different microphones. So I have this one that hooks up to my phone, which is why I'm holding it like a TikToker. And then I also have one that's like mounted to my camera, but I don't know how that one's going to sound out here. I don't even know if it works. I haven't tested it yet. So it's there, it's plugged in, but this one I know works, which is why I'm holding it. So anyway, this is just going to be one big experiment. I hope you enjoy the vlog. I am doing my best. We're not at home. This is, you know, this is not my house, this is my parents' house, but it is beautiful. So it is sort of nice that this is going to be the backdrop of my very first vlog, because it is gorgeous here. This is like the most beautiful piece of property on planet Earth. I will show you the view in just a minute because it's stunning. So let me read you the synopsis for Belladonna. For as long as Signa Farrow has been alive, the people in her life have fallen like stars. Orphaned as a baby, 19-year-old Signa has been raised by a string of guardians, each more interested in her wealth than her well-being, and each has met an untimely end. Her remaining relatives are the elusive Hawthorns, an eccentric family living in Thorn Grove, an estate both glittering and gloomy. Its patriarch mourns his late wife through wild parties, while his son grapples for control of the family's waning reputation, and his daughter suffers from a mysterious illness. But when their mother's restless spirit appears claiming she was poisoned, Signa realizes that the family she depends on could be in grave danger. Signa's best chance of uncovering the murderer, though, is an alliance with Death himself, a fascinating, dangerous shadow who has never been far from her side. Though he's made her life a living hell, Death shows Signa that their growing connection may be more powerful and more irresistible than she ever dared imagine. So I'm really looking forward to this. I hope this is just like fun, moody YA. I'm also equipped with the audiobooks, so I think at least at first I will be reading these immersively. I plan to listen to the audiobook as well as read along, and I may just kind of switch back and forth. We'll see. But I do have both, and yeah, I guess let's just get started. Hello, here I am with an update. I am about 50 pages in, like exactly 50 pages in, which is perfect because it was the start of a new chapter. I am really enjoying this so far. This is giving me all of the spooky, gothic, atmospheric vibes that I was wanting. The writing style I'm really enjoying. It's written in third person and it's the kind of narration that like knows all and sees all. Will do these cool kind of like zooming out moments of like, if only she'd known what was gonna happen, like she wouldn't have said that. And I just really like it. So we're following Signa, and something that wasn't in the synopsis at all, but that we find out very quickly, is that Signa cannot die. She has like fallen downstairs and broken her neck. She has eaten poison. She just keeps coming back to life. But after she dies, like there's this limbo period where she's able to speak with Death himself. And we find out that Death has kind of been following her around since she was a small baby. So her parents and like all of these caregivers that she's been passed around to all of this time have all died. And, you know, Death just seems to follow her around. And so there's this question of like, well, is Death really the one doing this, or is there something else going on? Why can't Signa die? At the point in the story where we're at now, Signa has just been passed to another family member, but this family member seems to be much more well off. It seems like they are going to be able to give her a much better life than she's had previously. Signa has mentioned to us several times that she's very interested in marriage. She's very interested in becoming a proper lady. She wants to belong. She wants to not be alone. She feels like she just keeps getting passed around to all these people who then keep dying, and she feels very lonely, and it seems like she thinks that the only way out is like marriage and finding someone who would be willing to whisk her away, kind of. So she's just been taken to this new estate, and it seems like, oh, she's going to have lessons and new dresses. Surely, you know, being in the company of these richer and more well-off people is going to help her in her goal of like becoming a proper lady. But there's like an eeriness to it, you know, it's kind of mysterious. She hasn't actually gotten to meet this family member yet. There have been a lot of moments of like foreboding. Again, very creepy, very gothic. I am suspecting a bit of a love triangle already. I mean, she's got this thing going on with Death himself, which I knew going into this. But she's also got some tension with the stable boy who came to pick her up and bring her to this manor. It's really fun so far. It's very YA. It's kind of reminding me of Sorcery of Thorns for some reason, and I can't quite put my finger on why. It's just kind of giving me those vibes. Anyway, so far so good. I'm excited to continue. I might do some more reading tonight, but otherwise I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Hi guys, it is another day in the vlog. I'm here with Belladonna and I have some more thoughts. So I am about 100 pages in now, and things are getting very interesting. I think in the last check-in I was telling you guys that Signa has found herself in this like very creepy manor with these like mysterious family members. She's excited about what this is going to bring to her future. Like she's finally getting lessons. She feels like if only these family members could stay alive, they would be able to elevate her into society, that she will have a proper debut. She will be able to find a husband. She will continue on her way to becoming like a proper lady. The problem is though that one of Signa's cousins is like deathly ill, and that cousin's mother recently died of sort of a mysterious illness. Signa is just really concerned and upset that Death is coming for this girl, and she's trying to figure out a way to stop Death from claiming her. And in all of this, Signa is discovering that like when she's in this state of death, like when she is in the limbo state between after she's died and like come back to life, she has some of Death's powers. Like we've discovered that she has the capability to like kill living things while in this state. And so we're discovering that there might be some more powers that Signa has access to. And there's clearly something very wrong going on at this manor. You know, everybody's a little cagey, a little weird. It's very unsettling, you know. And on top of that, the mother that mysteriously died is now haunting Signa and trying to tell her something. And so Signa is like trying to figure out like what it is that this spirit is trying to tell her. And it's just a lot of fun so far. So I'm not like super connected to Signa as a character. I guess I find characters in period pieces like this that really want to conform to those really sexist ideas of like what women should be. Like it's hard to like her. I guess I just like characters that want to rebel against something like that more. Like I identify with it more. It's more fun to root for a character that's kind of like rebelling against those sorts of ideals. And Signa is not that girl. You know, she's trying really hard to fit in and to be what society expects her to be, which doesn't make her terribly likable for me, though I don't mind her. It's not like I dislike her. I'm just not really connecting with her yet, but you can feel that there's like an edginess to her underneath, that she's got a bite to her, especially in the scenes that she has with Death. Like she's really angry with him and aggressive, and she speaks her mind. So I'm enjoying that. I'm really enjoying the atmosphere. I really like this atmosphere. I like this mystery. I'm invested in those things, even if I'm not like totally loving all the characters just yet. It's still delivering what I want it to, and I'm excited to continue. So I am going to keep reading, and I will try to give at least one more update before I finish to let you know how it's going. So yeah, that is the plan for right now. It is a gorgeous day. I'll try to get some footage of like how beautiful the mountains are. We've got some trees starting to turn over here. It's just a really gorgeous autumn day. I have a couple of pieces that I need to get up into my embroidery shop like ASAP. Unfortunately, you know, Hurricane Helene really messed with my schedule of trying to get certain like Halloween pieces out. So they're very late, and I'm still hoping that they'll sell. I need to shoot photos for those today and try to get those like up on Etsy ASAP. So I will be working on that sometime today. And other than that, I think my plan is just to read and chill. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's get to it.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't.
Alright, it is a few days later, and I'm back with another update. I think the last time I updated you guys, I was at the 100-page mark. I am now at the 300-page mark. I'm very close to finishing, and I wanted to give you another check-in before I go ahead and finish the book. I am enjoying it, and I would say that currently it is sitting at like a 3-star. I really wish I was enjoying it more. And I would say that my biggest issue currently is that like all of the characters are super bland. I mean, just like really, really uninteresting and very bland. As a character-driven reader, that has made this experience really difficult. Because I really like this writing style, especially. It's very beautiful, evocative, atmospheric. Like, I really like it, and I want to be pulled into the story, and I want to care about what's happening. And I do to an extent, but not because I really care about these characters and like what's going to happen to them. It's more just like a personal reader curiosity type thing. Like the author has set up this like interesting mystery, and I'm interested to see where it goes. We have like quite a lineup of characters. So Signa, our main character, we've got Death, who keeps frequenting her, and she is trying to learn more about her powers and her connection with death, which is a lot of fun, but it could be more fun, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. We have this like stable boy that feels a little bit mysterious. I think he's probably got some kind of personality reveal to come. We have this cousin of Signa's who is dying and probably being poisoned. So she's kind of the center of the mystery itself. We're trying to figure out like who is doing this to her. We have the dying cousin's brother, Percy, who's also a cousin of Signa's. We have their father. There's like a matron hanging around. You know, we have all of these characters. I wish I cared about a single one of them. I think, unfortunately, most of these characters, especially Signa, just really lack a personality. Like, the only thing that's interesting about Signa is her powers and is her relationship with death. Her powers are the reason why death is drawn to her. And she's also supposed to inherit this like massive fortune when she comes of age, which is why she's interesting to everyone else in the book. You know, like one day she's going to be really, really rich. And so that puts her in a position of like other people being really interested in her and wanting to suck up to her and have friendships and relationships with her because, you know, personality wise, she is severely lacking. She feels for the most part like a very passive character. The things that she wants out of life feel very superficial. And while she is like on a character arc towards wanting something else, I feel like her character development is like being spoon fed to her by other characters. Like she will express how she wants to get married, how she wants to belong in society. And it's up to other characters to look at her and say, like, why would you want that? Like, you're going to inherit this like massive fortune. Like, you don't need to get married. Like, you don't need to share that with a man if you don't want to. And she's like, oh, you know, I guess you're right. There'll be scenes where she's like having tea with all of these like gossipy, frivolous women who clearly don't give a shit about her and really struggling with like the rules of society and like how she's supposed to act and the fact that she's supposed to eat food in a certain order and things like that. And, you know, it's up to other characters to point out, like, hey, this isn't you, and you shouldn't have to abstain from eating something even when you're hungry simply because society says you can only eat 2 scones to be polite or whatever. And so I feel like it's like other characters who are kind of doing the heavy lifting and like getting Signa towards her own character development, which is kind of frustrating. And I think in general, this novel really suffers. And this could just be a personal thing, but it really suffers from like a lack of humor. None of the characters are funny. None of them are charming. Like the banter is really dry. The cousin who is dying, I want to care about her, you know, like she is the center of this mystery. Like she is the one like at stake here. I just really feel like she could have used a couple of jokes to get us to like her and care about her. Like if she had a good sense of humor about the fact that she was dying or sick, if she was clever or quippy, just anything. And I feel just very detached from all of these characters. I also feel like the love triangle, which I was really excited for at the beginning of the book because I do enjoy a good love triangle. If it's like really angsty and juicy, you can get me with a love triangle. And unfortunately, I feel like this is just really messy. It feels really unnecessary, again, because none of the characters are really all that interesting. I think we would have been better off just having her being interested in death. Like it's starting to get really messy. Like I said, we've got the stable boy that she also kind of has her eye on. And now at this point in the book, there's also this like handsome, like the perfect embodiment of like what she's always wanted. Like he's rich, he's handsome and well thought of, and would lead to the kind of life that she's always dreamed of having parties and going to tea and like being part of society. And so he's sort of got his eye on her now. I don't know. I think symbolically, the stable boy does not need to be in the picture. Now, I don't know where the story's going. and he is a little bit suspicious. So we'll see how it all sort of plays out. But like symbolically, I feel like it makes more sense for there just to be some kind of rich boy representing the life that she's always wanted, as opposed to death, who represents all of the things that are kind of taboo and forbidden, and like the parts of herself that, you know, are a little bit darker, a little bit more rebellious, right? Like I feel like having that juxtaposition would make more sense and feel better for the story. And as it is, it's just starting to feel really messy. We're spending all this time with these boys that just like I don't care about. They're not interesting. Even Death himself, I feel like could be so much more interesting. He is probably the most interesting character and the most interesting part of the book. I really hope that Signa's powers are going somewhere. Like, I hope that this part of the story is going to matter in some way. I feel like Signa's powers and her relationship with Death feels a little bit disjointed from the rest of the novel. So far, she hasn't really used her powers to move the plot forward. I mean, Death has shown up and like done it for her, but she herself hasn't like harnessed these powers and like done anything super interesting with them yet. So I hope that we are going to see something like that in the next 100 pages. I will say that the plot is getting really good and I'm excited to finish it. Like, I'm invested in the mystery and I do want to find out what happens. Something very alarming has happened in the last chapter. So I am, you know, excited and geared up to finish, which is what I'm about to do. But I did just want to, you know, come in and give you guys another little update to let you know how I was feeling. I feel kind of bad because I was really hoping to like love this. I know lots of people really love it. I have people that I know like in real life, you know, not necessarily in the book sphere, just like real people, real to me people who like read this and loved it. So I was really, really hoping that I would also be in that camp. And so far, you know, it is good. I am enjoying it. I'm just not loving it the way that I wanted to. I think it's not as good as it could be. And I think it's not quite using some of its best ideas to their full potential. That's where I'm at. But, you know, we'll see how I feel when the book is finished. There is a full on Casper dance scene in this book. Ooh, okay, so I've just finished it. These are like very fresh thoughts. It was a fun ending. The finale definitely had that kind of whirlwind feeling. There were good, you know, twists and turns and reveals. There are like two reveals that were given. I guessed them both kind of early in the book. One of them, I think, is a pretty good twist. The other one, I feel, is unnecessary and doesn't really add much to the story other than to be a twist. I had kind of, I'm being vague, I don't want to have spoilers in this video, but you know, it had kind of occurred to me that this particular reveal might happen. And, you know, throughout the story, I was like, but I don't know what the point would be. And now that it's over, I don't really understand the point of it other than just to be kind of a aha moment. It doesn't like hurt the story, so I'm fine with it. I do think it was fun enough. There were some heart racing moments, and you know, the very last line of the book, of course, has got me hooked for book two. I still think this is probably a 3-star for me currently. I hope that I will enjoy books 2 and 3 more. We'll see. Though, you know, even if I enjoy them as much as I enjoyed this, I still think that would be worthwhile. Like, I did like this. I'm glad that I read it. I did have a good time with it. I guess to recap, the things that I'm really enjoying about this series so far is the writing style, the atmosphere, and the mystery. And I would say that the thing that I'm not enjoying so much is like the character work, which it's just a little bland. You know, it's just a little bland for me. I really want to care more than I care currently. But you know, there are definitely like really fun moments. Like, it has fun moments and I get it. Like, people who really love this, if this is like a 5-star book for you, I get it. Like, I see it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on book 1. All right, so I guess I will see you guys tomorrow when I start Foxglove. Bye. Hey guys, I am here, unfortunately, to close out this vlog. I have gotten about 25% into Foxglove, and I'm so sorry to say, but this is a DNF. There's nobody who's sadder about that than me. I have greatly been looking forward to this trilogy. I have heard such wonderful, glowing things about it. The covers are stunning. I bought all the UK covers because I just think they're gorgeous, and I was so ready and prepared to love this trilogy. You know, I think you guys could see me struggling a little bit with book one. There were things I was enjoying, but a lot of things that I wasn't, and there are just two big things that are giving me the ick in Foxglove that has caused me to set it down. So, the first thing is that we start our story with another murder. There's been another, like, dramatic murder at the end of Belladonna. And at the end of Belladonna, we were being primed that Signa and Death were no longer going to be able to communicate the way that they had been, because death could only be visible to her because there was so much death surrounding her. And now that, like, the mystery was solved and people stopped dying, that death was not going to be able to, like, contact Signa the way that they had been previously. But then at the end of Belladonna, it ends on this, like, very dramatic murder. And so we start Foxglove with this murder that's happened. And because this murder has happened, it means that Signa and Death can now, like, communicate again. And so right after this gruesome murder, there's a scene with Signa and Death, like, you know, getting very passionate with each other because, like, they haven't been able to talk or touch in such a long time. And it's just like really weird. It's inappropriate. It just sort of feels like distasteful, I guess. You know, it sort of belittles this, like, traumatic thing that's happened. And so that was like thing one that I was kind of like, But thing two that I think I really am unwilling to sort of sit through again is that we've been introduced to another, like, eternal, ethereal man, which is Fate. And we've come to find out that Fate and Death are brothers, and they're kind of in this rivalry. And so while book one had this romance between Signa and Death, and Signa being the only human who's ever, like, defied death, like, she couldn't die, now it seems like we are setting up this other romance between Signa's cousin, Blythe, who survived the illness that should have killed her in book one. And we're setting up this romance between Blythe and Fate because now Blythe is the only one who's ever defied fate by surviving something that should have killed her. I just find it really icky to be doing this twice. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like if you're gonna have a love story between, like, an ancient, time immemorial type entity with just, like, a wildly inappropriate age gap in book one, I'll kind of roll my eyes and set it aside because, you know, Signa has this power, this, like, magical power that she was born with, and there's something special about her. And, like, of course, Death would be drawn to someone that couldn't die, right? Like, you know what? Fine. I can shunt that aside and, like, have a good time. I don't know, to be doing it again, to just, like, regurgitate that plot that's also, like, sort of deeply problematic in a lot of ways. I just don't think I can do it. Again, I'm so sorry. This is not how I wanted the vlog to go, but I also just don't think it would be fun to watch me, like, read this book that I'm not enjoying. I'm not opposed to reading series that, like, I'm reading for the purpose of, like, making fun of them, you know, like, I'm not above maybe doing that someday, but that's not what this series was for me. Like, going into it, I was really expecting to love this, and I'm just not, and it's really disappointing me. I think I'm just gonna call it. So if you've read the series, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments. I would love to chat about it with you. Please label your spoilers if you're going to include spoilers. If you finished the trilogy, did you think it was worth it? Maybe you struggled with it like I did. So just let me know your thoughts. I would love to chat about it with you. Please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!